Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Hope you are all feeling okay on this not too bad Sunday. It's a bit out there, a bit miserable, but hey ho. Yeah, so welcome to the new series on my channel, which is about my extras work. And today I'm going to talk about the first job I had as a film and TV extra. So yes, I had a text message asking if I was free on a certain day, which I believe was the 8th of December 2008. And when I was contacted as well, I was asked if I either had a Man United t-shirt or an Arsenal t-shirt, which basically was because I was going to be watching one of those teams play, or both of those teams play. And the reason is because it was at Emirates Stadium. I was going to watch a so-called football match. The production was Nike Asia, and it was AP Football, and it was for a new football boot that was coming out called Ignite, and that is what the advert was for. Now, here's a picture of me. I'm going to show it to you big now. This is me. I had long hair then. So there we are. There's me outside the stadium. I can't even remember who and if I'd asked to take the picture. But there is me outside the Emirates Stadium. Hi, Kat. I hope you're doing okay. Thanks for coming in. So this is where my first film and TV extras work took place. I was at the Emirates Stadium, and it was an advert for Nike. So what I did was, when I got there, I had to speak to somebody there. You get given a person you speak to, get there, and you have to be given a chit, which is basically a piece of paper with all the details of, what the production is, the pay on there, etc., stuff like that. Very cool. Yes. Yeah, I always find it very interesting. So there we go. So there's the picture of me. Once I was in there, I did take a few pictures of inside the actual stadium. And considering this is probably, where are we now? So that was 2008. This is nearly 20 years ago. This was inside. So that was the seating area with, I think that was a bar. I can't fully remember. And then this is the seating area we could see through the windows of the stadium. So these are the pictures there. So that's those. So basically, once you get in there, you let them know you're there. Make sure, you see them. They sign off on what time you arrive. And then we went into like, I don't know if it was a lounge or a cafe area. It was all just seats and tables, which most of the time when you turn up for a shoot, that is what there is. And there is usually food and drink out. I can't remember if there was any food and drink there. Can't remember what happened exactly. And then the main thing I remember is people turning up and lots of people knowing each other, because obviously when you do certain shoots, you sometimes bump into the same people, especially when you have long hair like I did then. I had it down to about here, which I think I mentioned in the very first video. So yeah, everyone gets together, people who know each other talk, etc. And then once everyone's there on the right time, this is the other thing I will say about extras work: make sure you're early. Doesn't matter what time you're supposed to be there, get there early, because the earlier you get there, the quicker they can start the shoot. So we were sat inside the stadium. I've got a few pictures of what was happening in the stadium. So for example, where we were sitting, if you picture the long seats across the sides and then the corners, we were in one of the corners. So there was a load of us in the corner, and then there was a load of people up one side, and then they would just move it as they were filming certain parts. So so here's the guy with the high vis, the big shade to the left there. That's the to make sure all the light is actually shining on us. So there's that part, and then this bit here as well. So this is us sitting there as well. Obviously I was fairly fairly close to the back, but it didn't matter. Anyone else that was shouting out really loudly was brought more to the front, but yeah, so that's what the seating area was like. So I'll leave this one up. So yeah, so this was the area. The other thing that shocked me was I think one of the bulbs went out because they pulled out this massive whopping great bulb. I've never seen a bulb that big before. So yeah, so we were sitting there, and basically we were supposedly watching a game that had happened a week ago. So they asked me if I either had an Arsenal or a Man U top, a t-shirt. I asked one of my friends and I got an Arsenal t-shirt, a red Arsenal t-shirt. So I was down as an Arsenal fan. So basically you get given a character when you're doing filming, and mine was Arsenal fan. So the strangest thing is that you find out, because these things can change the characters. When I was there, they said we're basically going to be Arsenal and Man U fans. So obviously when we were being Arsenal fans, my friend's t-shirt had the Arsenal badge on. We were watching, and then when they wanted to film us as Man U fans, we had to take the top off, put it inside out, and put it back on again. So there was no logo. So we were playing both. I don't know if you can see it properly on the screen there, but on the pitch you'll see a lot of things on wheels, and they were basically lights. I don't know whether they were on there to keep the pitch warm, whether it was to keep it dry, but yeah, that was on the pitch. And then basically the whole thing was we were going to be looking at a tennis ball on a stick, because we were watching a game that had happened a week ago. And yeah, we were reacting to that. So we had to react to that quite a bit. And then without us even realizing that someone else was coming out, just as we were about to start, we only had Eric Cantona turn up. He was one of the main faces of the advert. So we had Eric Cantona turn up down the bottom. Quite a bit of commotion, as you can imagine, and I think there were some people getting photos as well. I wouldn't advise that on some sets. I know I've said this before about photos. This was my first job. I wasn't 100% sure. There wasn't a lot going on, and where I was sitting, it was mainly just us. There wasn't anyone keeping an eye on us, etc. I'm not making that as an excuse. So I did take some photos, as you can see. And so yeah, so we carried on. We had Eric Cantona there, and we carried on with the advert, and we stayed in the corner, and the other group that were on the side would gradually move up, and that is basically what happened on the set. Now I did manage to get a copy of the video. This video is not mine. This is off YouTube, so I'm going to play you the video of the advert that it was in. Now I will say I'm not in the final cut. There were a few people, as I said, brought forward because they were reacting so well. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this picture off the screen now, and I'm going to share with you. So where are we? Share screen. And we are going to watch the advert that I was at the shooting for. So enjoy. Let me just make this bigger. And this is the advert that I was filming for. So there we go. Hope you saw that advert okay. And yeah, that is basically my first job at the Emirates Stadium. Can't remember a lot about it apart from the bits that I have shared. But yeah, so if you like it, if you think it's something you'd like to do, then have a look around on the internet. There are some pretty good names out there. I'll try and get a list of the well-known ones that I used to know about. For example, Ray Knight, I don't know if he still goes on. He used to do for the Bill, Casualty, a lot of the big names. There's Casting Collective, there's Universal Extras, and there's a whole load of new ones as well. As you know, actually, I forgot to put something up. I meant to put this up actually while I was going along, and it was basically if you have any questions. Yeah, basically, the agency I was with no longer is around. It was called Mad Dog Castings. It went from Mad Dog to Mad Dog 2020. 2020 was an agency itself, and it was run by a fellow apparently who ended up not paying the extras for the jobs they did, and he then left that and started up another agency. I don't know what's happening with that, but this is word of mouth basically. But it's good fun to be part of, and as I said before, you need a lot of patience for it. There's a lot of waiting around, but it's good fun, and you get to see the behind the scenes and stuff. So yeah, hopefully next week. I'm just trying to think which one. I think the next one is an NHS advert I did. So there's not a great deal to show for that. I have found the video online that it was about, but again, you won't see me in it. But I'll put that on next week. Hopefully that should be on. I can't remember when, because there is a weekend that I'm going to a toy fair, and I will have some stuff to show. So if you did like the extra stuff, please like, subscribe, click the bell notification, and that will let you know each time I'm going on live with that. And it will come up, and obviously you'll be able to see it. So let me just show you the advert for toy fairs now. So we've got Kempton, which is happening on the Sunday, the 8th of February, which I believe is in a couple of weeks. So that's is that 2 weeks today? I think that is. That's two days before my birthday. Let me just double check that. I should have this set up already, but so 25th, so the 1st. Yes, it's 2 weeks today, Kempton Park. So I will try and show you the next job next week, and then I'll show you. Then I'll show you the toys that I got either at Kempton or what I've been collecting so far. I have been having some stuff come through, so that's cool. Well, let me just take that banner down, and then you'll be able to see all the other dates. So they're the other dates. So yeah, the 8th of February, and then the next toy fair down is Andy's Totten Toy Fair, which is the 22nd, February the 22nd, and that is then. Not sure about the BP toy fairs at the moment. I'm going to have to sort out doing a banner for that. So there we go. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the video came through okay to show you the advert, and there'll be more of that next week. So take care of yourselves, guys. Look after yourself. Enjoy going out there and looking for toys, and I'll hopefully see you all next week. See you later.